Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah, Return of the Jedi. This is the one I liked the most because this had the most. This showed the most off of Luke, and like Luke became a master. And I thought the beginning of this movie was so cool. You have Leia, who is like she infiltrated this weird desert thing. You see Jabba the Hutt and whatever, and it's like she rescues Han. I thought that was so cool.
Well, let's start from the beginning. So, Return of the Jedi is a movie I never watched until recently, and it's hard for me to say whether I like this more. I know most people prefer Empire over Jedi, but I genuinely really had a lot of fun watching this movie. I had so much fun with Jedi. It's what I really love is, like I said, a big thing I love about all these, the original trilogy, are the practical effects. And Jedi just slathers you in practical effects at the beginning with all of Jabba's palace. They're really just starts bang off right at his palace essentially, where they have to save Han Solo because Jabba has Han Solo hung on a wall, like, like, hey, there it is. I defeated him finally. It's just I own him now. And so it starts with C-3PO and R2-D2 like going over to this door. It opens up and there's like this pig man. It looks like something from Zelda. They get in
like
and
Ganon?
they relay. Yeah, they relay. Well, not like Ganon, but just like a weird, like, it looks almost like a little too cartoony, to be honest with that. But after those two, they get into this room, almost like a throne room, I suppose, for Jabba, and they've got these aliens playing music and stuff. He's got some slave aliens dancing and all these like puppets, all these people dressed up and painted up in prosthetics and stuff. And then we also have the puppets everywhere, like the little bird thing that's sitting on Jabba's like tail, like laughing. We got that, and the whole scene looks great. It looks so good,
like it's kind of like the cantina scene, except
it's like cantina times
up.
10.
It's turned
in
up.
In my opinion, turned up because like there's all this stuff. All the effects are so much better now. And they're of course relaying a message to Jabba, saying like, "Hey, this is Luke, and he wants to make a deal to try to get Han back."
That's actually a lot of puppets to have going on. That's really impressive.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work they put into it. Now, there's one complaint. Big complaint I have. Once again, I watched the Disney Plus version, which is the 2011 re-release of the film, and for whatever reason, they had a dumbass idea. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to go in curse mode here because dumb fuck idea of so they're in the original movie. There's a scene where there's like this girl alien that sings, and they're all singing a little song. It's a genuinely nice little song. For whatever reason, they thought to have a little alien playing a harmonica, not a harmonica. It looks like kind of like a space harmonica, and it sounds like a normal harmonica, which is a problem. Your stuff just sounds different, like it does in the cantina. Like dun, 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 dun. It sounds different. It doesn't sound like a normal little instrument. And then he's playing a harmonica, and it sounds like a damn dirty bar in America. So you're like, what the fuck? And then it goes into this CG alien hairy alien. He's like, go go gabba gabba ba, and then it goes into this. The original puppet was like this ugly little yellow alien with like a long mouth with big girl lips at the end, but it looked kind of charming as a little puppet. But now it's just a full CG, really bad CG alien singing to you and actually breaking the fourth wall by looking at the camera and almost addressing you, the watcher, looking at her singing this song. Star Wars, by the way, never breaks fourth wall from my watching. It never once breaks the fourth wall, which is kind of what adds to the charm. It's all its own world. It's almost like you're looking into this world. The stupid CG scene breaks the fucking fourth wall. It's a bad song. It's horrible. It goes on longer, I think, than the original song. It's trash. Like, it just goes on longer. It sucks balls. The hairy alien at the end runs up to the camera and screams into it. It's just terrible. Absolutely awful. Fuck you, whoever. Lucas, was it you that did? Fuck you. That was awful. I'm disgusted by that scene. But other than that, it goes right back.
Hold on.
What?
Fuck you, Lucas!
But they they go right into where like one of the slave alien girls is like pulling a chain, like, no, I want to get out of here. And Jabba puts her into a damn Rancor hole. Rancor comes out and eats her. A big monster comes out.
Oh yeah,
and
the
eats
Rancor.
her.
The Rancor was cool.
Yeah, Rancor was cool. He eats her though. He killed her, and everybody just watches. Everybody rushes to the pit to watch her die. They're like, yeah, yeah. They watch her die.
Did you ever play Battlefront 2?
No.
There Star Wars Battlefront 2 is one of the best fucking Star Wars games out there. There was Jabba's palace was a level, and one of the things you could do is someone could stand on that plate, someone could activate a button, you would fall through, and you could actually fight a Rancor. Except
That's
you
cool.
couldn't kill the Rancor. It's like no matter what, you would die because there was no way out of it. You would just die.
We'll see. Then, of course, we get to Luke coming there. Luke's like, all right, like I kind of figured that Jabba wouldn't want to talk reasonably with me, so he comes in, gets his way in, of course, and this is the great stark difference from Luke from the beginning in A New Hope to now. He's wearing a full black outfit. He's got one black glove on, where
Where his hand was.
Probably inspired by Michael Jackson a little bit, but he's got the black glove on his robotic hand, and he. Look, his demeanor is so much different because he's a Jedi Master now, and he's so much better now. So years have passed, obviously, and he's far more confident in his skills. And he's like telling Jabba straight up, like, "Look, man, just give me Han, or it's gonna be bad for you, bro." He's like, "It's gonna be real bad for you. Just real talk. Just give me Han now. We'll be good. You can sit in your shitty palace and kill more alien girls." Of course, you got Leia's there too, right? Like, how did Leia get there? I don't remember how he got Leia, but he's got her as a slave. I think she tries to. No, that's what it is. She sneaks in. I remember now.
Yeah. So the beginning of the
Luke
film.
Yes.
So the beginning of the film, it's Leia.
Leia.
No,
Well, no.
no,
This
no.
is after. This is after the singing scene, because before Luke gets there, it takes a while for Luke to get there. But yeah, so she snuck in as a bounty hunter who brings Chewbacca. She's like, I've caught Chewbacca.
All right.
And then she pulls out the grenade, the bomb. She's like, I'll blow up everybody. And Jabba's like, I like your style. You know what? You're going to get your triple your pay. Thank you for giving me this stupid Chewbacca. Put him in the slave cage. And they put Chewbacca in the slave cage, and Chewbacca's sad. And then she comes over and she like unfreezes Han, and Han can't see for a while because I guess that's what happens when you're frozen. You just can't see for whatever reason.
It's sci-fi.
They play it off pretty well though, because he's like his acting works great for it. But he's, he's like, and then you hear Jabba. Jabba's like, for whatever reason, Jabba was sitting in this little corridor waiting for it, and he's just like with all of his people, all the puppets, and he's like, and of course Han's like, hey Jabba baby, come on, I'll pay, I swear, triple the pay, just please. And of course they put him all in the rage cage, and Chewbacca was messing with C-3PO the whole time, trying to get them together, and he turns him off because C-3PO shit talking, so he's like turns him off.
Wait, no, hold on a minute. So in the Jabba Palace scene, it's like Han's still in carbonite, isn't he?
Yeah, but he gets saved after that scene. Then Luke comes because they've already locked up everybody.
Oh,
and Jabba makes Leia like the little slave, and then Luke comes there, shows off. They're like whatever, and they lock him up. And Luke happily lets him take him. He's like, all right, I'm not gonna fight back. They get him, and then of course they're like, let's go out to our ship to throw him into a pit, to a Sarlacc pit. And they go on their little ship, and R2-D2's a little servant now. They put a little like tray thing on his head, and of course he's making everybody watch. And then we get Lando is acting like he was one of the guards, so they get a big sneak attack on him. Luke starts bodying people. Leia just chokes out Jabba with a chain, which is pretty badass. She like choked him out like his big fat ass. He dies. You actually like watch him actually choke out on screen. It's not like you actually watch him choke out on screen. Yeah, that's actually what his tongue does too. I guess that's something you never forget. You just never forget Jabba dying. But of course we had the funny scene where like Oh yeah, Boba Fett goes out like a bitch too, frankly.
Oh yeah,
Boba
yeah.
Fett was, by the way, Boba Fett was in all 3 movies. Awesome looking character. From the, I guess he's from what planet Mandaloria or whatever. Now that we know the planet name is called Mandaloria. But
No,
he
no,
comes.
that's the weird thing. It's not. He's not from Mandalore. His dad was like a fake Mandalorian. The prequels cover this. It's weird.
Whatever. Nonetheless, he wears awesome looking Mandalorian armor. Boba Fett looks badass. He's the only character in all of Star Wars throughout the original trilogy that looks like that. So we were like, holy shit, Boba Fett looks sick. He doesn't really do anything. Like, he gets defeated pretty quickly and gets thrown into the Sarlacc
Like even
pit,
before that, when Darth Vader hires all these bounty hunters,
he in
doesn't do
Empire he
that
does
much.
he shoots a couple. He looks cool. That's the thing he really does. He just broods around and looks cool. And then he gets his ass beat pretty easily. But yeah, Boba Fett gets defeated. Everybody gets defeated, and then of course we have the scene where Lando gets his leg caught by the Sarlacc. He's like, "Oh my god!" And then Han's hanging, like Chewbacca's holding on to him, and he's like, "Wait, I thought you couldn't see." And he's like, "Don't shoot! I thought you couldn't see." And then they changed the line on this. I think he originally, "Oh, my vision got better now," and then they changed. He's like, "No, it's okay," or something. I think they changed the line for some whatever reason. It was the original line was actually funnier, but whatever. He shoots and saves him, and they get out of there. Everybody saved, yay! But now we got to defeat the Empire. Now we got to truly get at their ass, because now we're prepared. Even though Han really didn't get to train at all, he was just kind of like in a thing for years. But
I mean, he's already a great shot.
yeah, it's true. So of course now they have to. This is their final attack, and this is where we get on the, I don't know the name of the planet.
Endor.
But, Endor, yes. We get on Endor, which is a big forest planet. It looks great. All these big trees.
And that was filmed in the redwoods in California.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like an alien planet. It looks like something pretty alien to most places on Earth. I mean, it's like all those big-ass trees.
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
so-
those trees are super cool. Like, I visited them. Super awesome. Like,
I know they're
beautiful
really
place.
big. Like, they're actually genuinely gigantic.
Like, you can get, like, a group of people to wrap around the trunk holding arms. That's how big
And that's
some
what
can
that's what
get.
works so well with it. The way they, like, the first time you actually see the scout stormtroopers, which look awesome, and they're flying on those
Oh, yeah. That
bikes.
was one of my favorite things,
my
the
God.
scout troopers. And they sound a little bit different, too. They're like, yeah, we gotta get on our speeders or whatever their speeders were called. And they get,
I think they were actually speeders, but they
looked
the way they're
cool.
going
They
through-
looked different. They had like cool binoculars. They sounded different too, and they had their awesome bikes. And you're just like, whoa, cool.
it's awesome. Like they're riding on these little speeders, and they go quick. And the way it's like, they're like, obviously it's like they're on like a green screen.
Yeah.
You know, for
Or,
some of it,
or
looks a
rear
little janky.
projection or whatever.
But it's cool that they actually got a camera to like go through, and they probably sped up the. It just looks great going through all those trees. It's like, you know, and of course, like there's one where they used a ragdoll body. I don't know if when they throw off one of the scout troopers and they used a ragdoll body to hit a tree. And it looked really good. It was like, it just falls down. I love ragdolls, and I love it. They just use a ragdoll stormtrooper, a scout trooper. It looked great. Just him hitting the wall. Scout troopers are like goofballs of all the troopers. They're like the goofball ones. Which of course I haven't seen the Mandalorian, but I've seen the scene. It's almost like a red. Have you seen that scene? Like where they're. I don't know if you've been watching the Mandalorian.
I have not been watching the Mandalorian.
There's
I'm on
there's
Disney
apparently a
Plus.
very red versus blue type scene where there's 2 scout troopers sitting on their bikes and they're just talking. You should honestly watch it. It's really like a lot of people who love the classic red versus blue set. It's like it literally is like a red versus blue scene. Where
I
it's just
love
like 2
red
guys.
versus blue.
Yeah, they're both just sitting there like shooting the shit, and like there's one part where one of them just gets kind of bored and he starts shooting his blaster at a can and he's missing every shot, and then the other one watches it and he pulls it out and starts shooting, and then he misses too, and then he just gets his gun and he's like that's it's obviously like playing on the fact that literally throughout this whole goddamn series, even though they're said by literally Obi-Wan Kenobi that these guys are like the perfect shot, like the stormtroopers are like on
They
point.
have perfect
They-
shot.
No, no, they don't, Obi. Maybe back in your day they did, but not anymore. They suck. These guys miss every shot, except one in Jedi. They probably because of the complaints. In Jedi, Leia gets shot in the arm, but that's later. She gets shot in the shoulder, but that's later. Nonetheless, they're on Endor, and you see these little brown bear people called Ewoks, who are very primitive. I don't think that's what I don't think that's what they sound
Yeah,
like.
or something.
Something like that.
They look
I
like
know
they look
I know
like
the-
Chewbacca.
Kinda, but they have like lips. For some reason, they have lips.
Oh.
But they're a little ugly, but they've got a charm to them too. They're a little ugly, but a little funny and cute at the same. It's like ugly and cute at the same time somehow. But I love Ewoks personally. I thought the Ewoks were funny. I think they looked funny. Like some people were like, "Oh, they're like the Jar Jar Binks of the past." No,
I don't know. I wasn't.
I'm
too
in
big
the
on
I'm in the
Ewoks.
process of
I
watching.
I could pass or take them. I didn't really care for them.
I'm in the process of watching the prequels, and I can safely say the Ewoks are 100 times better than Jar Jar Binks. They don't talk, and that's already better. They just look, okay? Yes, they're kind of made for the little kids. They're made to sell toys to. But you know what? They still worked. I thought they were cute enough. I thought they were funny, especially when one steals one of the speeders and I don't know why all the scout troopers chase after him. You should have just been one scout trooper that chases after him. I mean, they're capable, right? There's 4 of them at the thing, and they use one of the Ewoks to steal to get into the base, and one little Ewok steals one, and all like 3 of them except the guy who lost his bike, they all chase after him. Why?
I really
should've
liked all the traps that the Ewoks set up for like the ATST. You know, that big
Oh, yeah.
boom
The
bangs
Ewoks were creative. Like I think that's why I liked it. They definitely used them. They didn't just make them a side character. They definitely were very useful to the play.
I don't remember. Was there any like blood or anything like
No.
that? The
Star Wars
Stormtrooper-
doesn't use blood
No.
except for like that one time in Empire. But what's really nice about well, not really nice. There's one problem when it comes to Jedi is like a great portion of this film is with Han Solo and Leia are just them in front of this little base on Endor. That's it. Like a lot of the most interesting stuff is happening with Luke on the Death Star. Literally, it's most of the film is them just trying to get into this little base, which is kind of dumb antics. Like the Ewok steals a thing, they get up and they point a gun at the guy, and then there's a big fight that happens, but they point the gun over at the guard, and the guard's like, "Oh shit!" That's the one stormtrooper they don't kill, by the way, scout trooper. He actually, like, if I noticed, they leave him to stand at the door at parade rest. So he was the only one to survive. It seems like they didn't just shoot him in the head immediately. By the way, there's one scene in this film where you actually see one stormtrooper with the helmet off. When they have them all like, so you know when they, for whatever reason, after the one stormtrooper is beat, literally everybody runs out of the base to see what's going on. Even not the non-stormtrooper guys, the like admirals run out all at the same time in a group, and then they point all their guns up like, "Gotcha!" And all the little Ewoks are point the little arrows at them. They're like, "Well, shit." When they have them all locked up, there's literally one guy, like, you know how they have the black like whatever.
Yeah.
He's got like a big beard, a big bushy beard, and he's like, "Well." We don't know if that was intentional or if he just forgot to put his helmet on, but they just kept him in.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. You could actually see it. It's really funny. But
I remember that.
nonetheless, because it happens so fast, like you got to really be looking at all the characters. But they steal it. And of course they're able to really blow up that satellite. That was a big important part. They need to blow up the satellite. That was their focus. It felt almost inconsequential to the juxtaposition to what's happening with Luke, which he's on the Death Star, and he's walking with his father, and he's telling he's talking to his father. His father's like, "Yo, you're gonna turn to the dark side." He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm not gonna turn to the dark side. You're wrong."
No,
And then of course he talks to the Emperor. You finally get to see the Emperor, who's played perfectly. It's kind of cheesy a little bit, but in a good way. You know, he's just sitting there like, "I'm the Emperor, and I'm fucking evil. Look at my wrinkly ball sack face." Oh, by the way, Yoda dies. Speaking of ball sack, Yoda dies in this, and he like
Truth.
kind of like
Does he die?
just he's laying in his bed, and he's like, he dies. That's when he tells him that there's another one, and he learns. That's when he learns that Leia is his sister, and he tells Leia that, which is a cute little thing in between where Han thinks that Leia actually fell for Luke, and so he like at one point he confronts her. He's like, "Look, if you like Luke, it's okay. I'm fine with that." And then she's like, "What? He's my brother." And then that's when you see him go like that funny scene everybody points out now where he's like, he's actually starting to think about it like he kissed him. She's like, "What the fuck?" But
I remember that.
nonetheless, you know, we see Luke up there, and he keeps he's essentially trying to turn Luke over to the hatred, and it's all done really well. And he's almost turned to the hatred a bit because he's like, no matter what, your friends are gonna all die, and we're gonna kill them all. And then all of a sudden, he gets his lightsaber out, and he's like, yes, yeah. You feel the power you're getting with your anger, and Luke's kind of like, oh shit, you're right. And Darth's just kind of watching it, Then of course we get to the point where no matter what, Luke's like, whatever you do, you won't be. Well, before that, actually, he actually fights Darth Vader again, and this time, great fight. Of course, with the end where he actually knocks Darth down. Darth's hand is up on the rail, and he just attack like bam, 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 and then he actually cuts Darth's hand off, the same hand that he, like a revenge, you cut off my right hand, now I'm cutting off you. And Darth's like, "Argh!" It's like really, you're like, holy shit, like what a great fight.
Luke, I didn't know you had it in you. Oh my god.
He became a master. He finally beat him. He beat Darth Vader, and so. But then the Emperor, of course, is like, now it's time for me to, turn over the dark side now. You're so strong. Please, you'll be a great asset to us. And then Luke's like, no, whatever you do, no matter what, I will never turn to the dark side. And then, of course, he starts shocking little electric hands. And in the original, funny enough, Darth Vader never says no. He doesn't say anything. He just picks him up and throws him, which they convey it actually pretty well. Very well done to be able to convey Darth Vader, like, regretting, like, kind of turning over at that moment with a helmet on. No facial features. You can tell that Darth's kind of like, with body movement alone, you can tell Darth's regretting it. But of course, in the later release, they had him saying no, because I guess we're dumb. We can't tell that Darth, is changing. So they added that for some stupid ass reason. But he picks up the Emperor and throws the Emperor into a goddamn reactor core. Electricity everywhere, whatever. He's supposed to be dead. And then, but Darth got shocked in the middle of that. And he's dying. Luke picks him up, carries him over to an area, and then of course he removes the mask, which one thing they did add to keep consistency, which I do like. In the original, Darth actually had his eyebrows, and they edited the eyebrows out to be more consistent because he actually got burned. So that's a fine. See, when edits like that, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You don't need to add stupid CG shit that no one needs to see, like a dumbass singing scene at the beginning, George. But
George.
Nonetheless, they have this pretty sentimental moment where Luke is, of course, confining to his dad, like, Dad, please, gets sad and whatever. Great little scene. But after that, everybody just basically homes in and fucks up the Death Star, which somebody pointed out. I remember watching something where somebody pointed out, if Luke turned over to the dark side, like 20 minutes later, he would have blew up and died. So no matter what, he would have died anyways. So whatever.
Also, one thing I don't understand: Darth Vader was supposed to be like the most powerful Jedi of all time, and he he defeated all of these Jedi.
Yeah.
And he would go one-on-one with all these Jedi, or like kill whole
You're saying
groups.
So how would Luke defeat him?
Yeah, I kind of.
Darth in his older age, maybe, and it's also the fact that Luke is his son, so he's kind of like comparable to him, I guess. And Luke
and maybe Darth Vader was pulling punches because it's his son.
Maybe there's all kinds of stuff to it. I mean, honestly, he's a hero. I mean, he's gonna get better. He had a bigger and better reason to fight. And it could also be the fact that he's his father, so maybe he was like, pulling punches. He didn't want to beat his son like that. He obviously didn't really want to kill him, but he
was also supposed to bring him, like, try to convert him. So he was like,
he's not
don't
trying to kill him
either. Don't kill him, just like hurt him a little bit.
He could be an important asset, which he could have been for them. But he leaves. They go to the Ewok planet. They go to Endor, and then they celebrate. Of course, you get this. They changed the song. Some people really hate this because the original song was like an Ewok song. They changed it to just some sentimental stuff. And then they're on the planet. Everybody's happy. You see all the little Ewoks dancing and everything like that. It's really satisfying ending. Every character goes to each other. Like Han goes to Luke, and they basically grab each other, like hug for a second. They're like, "Yeah, we did it, man. We fucking did it. We won." And then of course
then you see the ghosts.
Well, one of the most crazy changes that they did. The original was actually the guy who played Darth Vader, the physical Darth Vader. Just him with his hair and actually looking normal and being happy, which I think was better. And the most controversial change
They brought the prequel character Anakin over.
They brought young Anakin there,
to make it more consistent.
Is it more consistent?
Well, it is more. It has.
No.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Him and his. No, it would have been fun because he's still old. Why, if that were true, then they should have changed Obi-Wan to be young Obi-Wan.
I thought they did.
No, Obi-Wan's still old Obi-Wan.
But they
so
changed
it makes no fucking
But they
sense
changed Yoda.
No, they didn't.
They didn't change Yoda.
It was just puppet Yoda. It's just Anakin that gets changed. I don't know why. It's kind of dumb when you really think. The more you think about it, the more it's really stupid. Why they do that? But nonetheless, yes.
Maybe okay. So maybe they chose that Obi-Wan because that was Obi-Wan at his best, and they chose the Anakin that was no. That doesn't make sense because the Darth Vader.
It's dumb the more you think about it.
The Darth Vader that was at his best was the one that sacrificed himself for Luke. So they could have just kept him with his cape on. They could have just kept Darth Vader.
They did. He was wearing Jedi outfit again. He's wearing the Jedi outfit, and he was just the guy who was playing Darth Vader without the makeup, and he just had hair, and he was just sitting there smiling. It looked fine. Everybody knew it was Anakin. Everybody knew who that was. I guess they figured maybe some people got confused because you don't see him in his human form until then. So I don't know. It was stupid. It's really dumb because people who haven't seen the prequels yet, thankfully I know about the prequels. You'd see that and you'd be like, "What the fuck is that?"
What the fuck is that? I don't know why Disney Plus doesn't have 15 different versions available. What happened to the original versions that they couldn't put up for their subscribers?
I have no idea. I don't know why Disney's gonna wait till they can make more. I have no. It's really
like come on, give people the choice. Show us the give us the theatrical cut. Give us the 2000 cut. Give us each cut and let us decide which version we want to see. Give us the uncut version. Give us the Blu-ray special edition shit. Where's all that fun shit?
Honestly, it's hard for now that I've seen the trilogy. I'm happy I saw the trilogy. I'm very happy I saw the trilogy. It's excellent. In every sense of the word, it's amazing. Every single one of them is they're well done movies. No problems whatsoever. I mean, any big problems or any kind of gripes you could have are small and meaningless, honestly, about these. It was great movies.
A great movie.
And there's a reason why people love them. I mean, I can see why people fall in love with these. I mean, especially if you grew up with these. These are such great films that if you see them as a kid, you can enjoy them for the practical effects or just the fun little aliens and stuff. And then you get old and you begin to love it for different reasons. You're like, oh, the storytelling, the character interactions. It's Star Wars is a film that you easily So it came out at the perfect time where a lot of people grew up with it, and of course these people now are very obsessed fans and things like that. But I mean, nonetheless, just looking at these movies as they are, I'm not trying to bring in controversy about all the stuff around it. Just as they are, just as films, 3 films, they're great. They work together very well. They all watching them all together is great. Even watching them on their own is great. Jedi, it's hard for me to say still. I think I would probably lean Empire's probably slightly better just because Jedi, the biggest problem is just a portion of Jedi, all the Han Solo stuff on Endor is just not as, I don't know, it goes on. I wish they could have did more, essentially. A lot of it was in the same area, almost a lot of it was just in one area, while Luke was far more interesting. His area was, but the sets are still great. The areas, the music, everything. I think basically what I'm saying with Jedi, I feel like a lot of the budget went into the beginning of the film with all the puppets and the whole Jabba's palace. Because then after that, it's a lot of I mean, Endor's still great and all that, but it seems a little less because it's just a forest plan, just on a forest, and then back on the Death Star in one room essentially. He's not like he's traveling to room to room to room. It's one room. So I can see why some people may say well, it seems like a lot of it went to the bombastic parts really went to the front of it, but. It's still an excellent ending to a trilogy, a very good ending. Everybody's happy, everybody won. It feels perfect. Of course, very conclusive when he looks over and sees all 3. His father, Yoda, all kind of father-like figures to Luke, all basically saying you made it, you did it, we are proud of you. All 3 of us are very proud of you. We all doubted you. At one point, here you are. Luke can look over and he's just especially where there's a scene where they're burning Darth Vader's body, and just to cremate him essentially, and he's standing right there looking at it, and all the flames are way up there. It's a good shot, great shot. It's all great. I mean, everything about it is just excellent. could not recommend more. I mean, who hasn't seen Star Wars? I know that's the main reason why we made these. I cannot believe I have not seen Star Wars until now. And in some ways, I guess it sucks that I should have really honestly watched them way later. I don't know why I had such a negative view on it. I guess I just figured.
To be fair, before because I watched a couple clips. For a long time I just kind of didn't think about Star Wars after watching them initially. But kind of looking back on it, like I used to tell people, Star Wars is kind of overrated because I wasn't that into it. But like looking back with a new perspective on film, that I've gained over the years lately, like that I'm starting to have an eye, I can really start to appreciate Star Wars for what it actually was, it was a very good movie, and it has survived the test of time with its practical effects. And I hear all these things about how they did shots, like for a lot, there wasn't any green screen, or they didn't have there was green screen, but for a lot of the shots, very primitive. But for like the Death Star, for example, they had matte paintings. They actually painted like soldiers standing in a scene.
Or it was like little models that they would blow up. Like if someone was actually blown up, they just blew it up with an actual like.
And it's like, and they did it so well that I never noticed it. I never noticed that it was a painting I was looking at. So these movies have a texture to them. And that's also a reason why the CGI is so jarring, because these old films had a texture to them that technology that they used to implement like CGI didn't have at the time.
In my opinion, I mean, if they want to keep the way, like they want to keep doing these edits and keep the edits, one, I'd say don't add any more. If anything, at least fix up the edits you've done. I would be fine with that, if anything. I mean, God forbid, in my opinion, the prequels desperately need it. The prequels desperately need Jar Jar's to be redone. He looks like trash. They need to fix him now. Once again, I'll get into that in other videos, but
well, I think the prequels could use with a re-edit, like a whole.
They almost need like
they need to go back and they need to cut
like
up
Blade
the
Runner,
movie,
like final cut or director's
Yeah.
cut, you know what I'm saying? Like they need like the final cut.
Because the current editing, it's the editing for the prequels is boring, uneven, stilted.
We'll get into that later. Like we don't want to get too negative. Basically, this is like a celebration.
Yeah.
Run here.
The prequels were absolutely fantastic. Disney Plus, or fuck.
You mean
the original trilogy? Disney Plus needs to release the original cut for these movies, even if it looks like shit.
They should have every cut that ever existed. Is what they should.
Yeah, they should have every cut. Like, why do fans of these movies have to scour eBay for?
Disney doesn't understand. If they just release the theatrical releases on Blu-ray, and even charge like $30 per one, which is ridiculous, but if they did it like at a 4K Blu-ray, people would buy it.
I would love to get a Blu-ray with like all the different versions and maybe all the behind-the-scenes stuff of like the matte painting and like how they did all the effects, because it's like, come on, just give it to us. We're gonna buy it. We're gonna buy it and we're gonna enjoy it and we're gonna buy more shit. Like Disney's the one of the has so much fucking money that it baffles my mind that.
Disney actually bought Hasbro, the company that has made Star Wars toys for this long. I'm not even kidding. They actually bought Hasbro recently. So
they bought everything. They have everything.
Anything that Star
we don't
Wars
want to
touched.
talk. Let's get out of this conversation. This is.
But nonetheless, I can safely say that this has turned me into a Star Wars fan. I don't think I'm going to be some obsessive Star Wars fan that reads every book and all that kind of stuff like that. But it definitely has me looking back and saying, maybe I should go and play some more of those games. Maybe I should go play Knights of the Old Republic. I never played.
You want to play?
Maybe I should.
You want to play Battlefront 2?
One day. Maybe I should go play
the original,
the Lego Star Wars games, which I do want to play. That.
Yeah. Hey, Lego Star Wars 3 is coming out. I'm pretty sure it's called 3. Because it's got the new trilogy.
It's a re-release of it. Yeah.
It's a re-release, and it's gonna have all the old games. It's gonna have co-op. So
we're gonna have that.
Maybe we can play that.
It makes me almost want to buy some consumer Cody here, but it almost makes me want to buy some. I would buy a lightsaber. Fuck it, I'd buy a lightsaber. I'd buy a Stormtrooper helmet or something. I don't know.
You should
Fuck
get a stormtrooper costume.
Those are expensive, man.
You should do it.
Those
You're
are
consumer Cody. Come on.
That would be old. I mean, would I be funny? Because stormtroopers are still the best suits where you can do anything in the suits. You can do anything in a stormtrooper suit, and it would be funny. So I don't know. Maybe one day. Who knows? I doubt it. Like, look. Nonetheless, I can safely say I love this trilogy. It was a lot of fun. They were well put together. It's amazing to see practical effects, especially in today's age where we don't see it. And it's sad. We don't see as many practical effects anymore. So really, these are like the best of the best in many ways. Other movies I'd say that have great practical effects like that would be like a Blade Runner. A lot of movies in the 80s, honestly. Any movie from the 80s probably
Mad
had like
Max.
even if it wasn't a good movie, it probably had good practical effects during that time. The 80s was like the perfect time for that. 90s really moved into CG, and here we are now where everything's CG. I mean, hell, didn't they do in The Hobbit? Wasn't there a scene in The Hobbit where like they just put Gandalf in a room by himself and didn't he cry because it was like really sad? Do you not remember that? Do you not know this is a thing?
Wait. So was he just like standing? It was like,
no, he's sitting at a table and he's actually. I swear to God, I think that actually happened. I swear he actually cried.
Because I'm imagining a really fucked up like CGI Gandalf.
Look, we're going off the cuff here. Nonetheless, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to us rant. Listening to me mainly rant about Star Wars, my first experience with it. If you have never watched Star Wars, first off, please tell me there's some people out there that exist like that. If not, go in the comments and talk about how lame I am for not watching it until now and laugh at me.
Do it.
Or join the consumerist cult where we buy everything.
Buy our merch.
Everything. Buy our merch.
Buy our merch. Yeah.
We don't have any merch. We're never gonna have any.
One day.
We're never gonna have any merch. Who knows? No, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, how do you end these things? We'll just do it like the edit something in here.